Hi guys, it's Avery. It's February the 15th, and I've been on T for about 9 months, and I'm almost 3 weeks post-op, which is pretty cool. I wanted to do a quick video about the whole Florida experience and how it was for us going down there. But before we even left, I decided I was going to come out on Facebook, which is the way to do it, I suppose. And I was overwhelmed by the positive response I got back and all the love and support, and I shouldn't have expected anything less from all the great people I've got around me. But it was a great way to kick off the trip, just to know I'm totally supported by all my people back home. So the traveling was great. We got to Florida around 8:30 at night, and Leland, our host from New Beginnings, picked us up. And I'll do a separate video about New Beginnings, but in short, amazing, and we love Leland, and he took such good care of us. The next morning was the pre-op appointment, which I think I spoke about a little bit in my other video. But I was pleasantly surprised how much I liked Garamoni, and how friendly and professional he was. So the next day was surgery. So they take you, once you're in the surgery center, you have to deal with all the financial bits. Then there's a bit of a wait in the waiting room. And then they take you in the back. They took me in the back anyway to get all set up. There's a urine test and then an IV and get in your fancy robe. And it's not a fancy robe. And then they brought my mom and my sister back with me to wait. And it was about a 45-minute wait, which was just fine. We had a great time in the meantime. And then the nurse comes up and she says, "It's time for the party." I say, "Am I invited?" And she goes, "You're the hostess with the mostest." I said, "Well, not for much longer." So I thought the surgery staff were awesome, and hilarious, and I had a good time. I felt totally confident going into surgery, that I'd be really well taken care of. Don't remember too much. I know they put something in my IV just before we left to start the loopy process. I do remember waking up and laying sort of in the dark and having people poke their heads in just to check up on me, and I was giving them smiles for sure. I was quite out of it afterwards. I think it was Benadryl or something that knocked me right out. So they told me it was time to walk out to the van. Yeah, right. They had to wheel me out, just because I could hardly keep my eyes open. I was just so out of it. But no pain, and really, for the whole experience, I don't think I could ever say that I was actually in pain during the process. I took a couple Vicodin when I got home, not all together, but for a couple days, but I don't think I needed it. I think a Tylenol would have sufficed, and I probably could have gotten away without the Tylenol. Not a lot of discomfort, yes. Itchiness, yes. Constipation, yes, and I'll tell you about that in a second. But I was up and about, I think, if not the next day, then the next. We were out doing fun things and seeing flamingos and stuff like that. But yes, they warn you about the constipation. It's true. And I should have been on that a little bit more. But it's kind of a weird time warp there, and I didn't realize it had been 5 days. I think it was the worst night of my life. I won't go into details, because it's gruesome. But it was about a 7.5-hour stint on the toilet with cold, hot flashes, and feeling like I was going to pass out, feeling like I was going to throw up, and I did. And it wasn't the flu, it was just too much. Anyway, that was the worst part of the whole experience. But if that was the worst, and that could have been easily avoided, I think I got away pretty lucky. So do keep an eye on the constipation. But besides that, let's see. The post-op was kind of exciting, but I don't remember a lot of it just because I was so excited. But my sister taped the whole reveal, so I'll get that uploaded at some point. But he takes off your bandages and rips off the tape, and it hurts so good, and tells you all your instructions. I remember it being so unreal, looking down and being like, well, that's not my chest. Very weird. It was really cool to see all the same guys that were in the pre-op waiting room, in the post-op waiting room. And it's like, hey, how was your week? Probably the same as yours. It was really cool. And even though we didn't talk a lot, I still feel connected to all those guys just because we're surgery buddies. Yeah, then that day was probably one of the better days. We got a couple new people came, I think the night before, which was so exciting. I was great. I loved everyone I met there. Oh my gosh, it's so sad to leave. I think that was one of the worst parts of leaving, was leaving all these amazing people behind. Because we did have an awesome. We was gonna have dinner on the beach. So before we left, we picked up another guy from Norway, and then we went to a taco joint on the beach. And I have this really vivid memory of all of us waiting in the ocean, and it was palm trees and full moon, and yeah, I had a great time. And that was definitely a sad thing to leave everyone, especially when they were just starting the process, and I was so excited for them, and had to go. But yeah, no, that was great. Being with all the being with all the people who are having the same journey was amazing. Um, Trip back was great. Um, and recovery has been super, except for the day we left, I caught quite a cough. And every time I cough, racing through it and racing. So if I didn't have that, I would be feeling almost 100% better. Took my tape off my incisions a couple days ago. They look pretty good. The nipples still look a little gnarly, but really pleased with the placement. So yeah, feeling pretty great.